Hi, I'm Dr. Lakshmi Ravishankar, and in this module we'll be discussing about sigmatropic rearrangements. So at the end of this module, the student should be able to classify a sigmatropic rearrangement as Ij and determine whether the given sigmatropic rearrangement will take place superficially or antificially, depending on whether the reaction is done under thermal or photochemical conditions. So, we have seen already in the previous modules what is a sigmatropic rearrangement. It is migration of a sigma bond across a conjugated pi system. Then the sigma bond which breaks is bonded to an allylic carbon. And the bond which is broken, the sigma bond, could be either between a carbon-hydrogen or between a carbon-carbon or a carbon and a heteroatom, where heteroatom could be oxygen, nitrogen or sulfur. So here we have some examples. So you see this is the bond which is breaking and it is migrating from here and it is coming to this carbon, as can be seen here. If this happens to be hydrogen, then this is a 1,3 hydrogen shift. If it is a carbon or an alkyl substituent, then we say it's a 1,3 alkyl shift. Here it is a carbon-carbon bond which is migrating and it is going from here and it is coming here. This is an example of a 3,3 sigmatropic shift. So like I said, it is designated as Ij. We will see shortly how to determine the values for I and j. So basically an Ij shift implies that the sigma bond migrates across I atoms of one system and j of another. So to decide I and j, you mentally break the sigma bond in the reactant and then look at the new bond in the product. So here this is the bond which is being broken. It is migrating from this origin and terminating at this. So this is the migrating origin, this is the migrating terminus where the new bond is formed. You count the number of atoms in each fragment that connects the broken bond and the new sigma bond. The two numbers are written in bracket with the smaller number written first. And remember, when hydrogen is the migrating atom, I is always equal to 1. So here hydrogen is migrating, so I is fixed, it is 1. And it is migrating from this origin, which is, so we count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is an example of a 1,5 sigmatropic rearrangement. Let us look at this. Here you have a carbon-nitrogen bond. This is being broken and now this bond is formed between this carbon and this nitrogen. So here the migrating origin is 1, 2 and 3 is the termination, and here it is 1 and 2. So your values for I and j written in the ascending order is 2, 3. So this is an example of a 2, 3 sigmatropic rearrangement. This is a 1, 3 sigmatropic rearrangement where the migrating group is an alkyl, and this earlier we saw a 3, 3 sigmatropic involving a carbon-carbon bond. Here it is a 3, 3 involving a carbon-oxygen bond. So this is breaking. So 1, 2, 3 on this side, 1, 2, 3 on this side. So this is a 3, 3 sigmatropic shift. You can also have a 5, 5 sigmatropic rearrangement, which is there in the benzidine rearrangement. So here it is this nitrogen-nitrogen bond which is being broken and the new bond is formed between carbon and carbon here. So the number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this side. So this is an example of a 5, 5 sigmatropic shift, and this intermediate undergoes aromatization to give you the final product. So we can predict the stereochemical outcome of a sigmatropic rearrangement by making use of our frontier molecular orbital approach. So the migrating group can move across the conjugated pi system either of two ways, either on the same side of the system, which is known as a superficial migration, or from opposite sides or one side of the pi system to the other, which is the antificial, as is exemplified here. So let us see, this is our polyene system. This is the hydrogen attached to the carbon, allylic carbon, and this is undergoing migration. Now you see here the terminal lobes are having the same face on the same side. So the hydrogen migrates from one face to the other face across the same side. So this is your superficial migration. But in this case, if you see, the lobes are of the opposite sides. So here if the hydrogen has to migrate from here to here, it has to go on the opposite side groups from one face to the other, and this is your antificial migration. So this is the transition state of the reaction. So superficial rearrangement, you have migrating origin, migrating terminus. This is the migrating group along the same face. Here it is on the opposite face, opposite sides. The sigmatropic rearrangements have cyclic transition states, and if the ring has size of 6 or fewer atoms in the ring, then it is supraficially allowed. Anterofficially, it may be symmetrically allowed, but geometrical constraints prevent such a migration to take place. So if you consider the 1,3 sigma tropic shift, you imagine that the two fragments are a cation or an anion pair and examine the HOMO and the LUMO interaction. If the overlap is constructive at both the termini, the reaction is allowed. If it is destructive, then the reaction is forbidden. If the migrating group is carbon, then depending on whether it is using its single lobe or if it is making use of both the lobes for migration, you can have the migration with retention or inversion of configuration. However, if the migrating group is hydrogen, because it makes use of the 1s orbital which is spherical, there cannot be any inversion. Superficial migration is forbidden for 1,3 because in 1,3 when you cleave it, imaginarily you cleave it, then your HOMO becomes the allylic anion and Psi2 is the HOMO for that. So the lobes will have like faces on the opposite sides, and hence superficial is not allowed. And anterofficial, although symmetrically, will be allowed. The bridging distance is too great and there's a lot of steric constraints. However, under photochemical conditions, this would be superficially allowed because now Psi3 becomes the HOMO and the terminal lobes have the same face on the same side. So superficial is allowed. So here we are discussing the carbon-carbon migration. So this bond is broken and this methyl is coming on this carbon. So you see, imaginarily you break this, so this becomes a methyl carbocation. This is my allyl carbon ion. So your HOMO is the Psi2 of the allyl anion and the LUMO is your 2p carbon of this methyl carbocation. So now you see this is superficial, there is a bonding, but here there is an antibonding. So if it makes use of this lobe, superficial migration should take place, but there is retention, then it would proceed with retention of configuration. However, because this is not possible, this type of migration is forbidden. But if it makes use of both the lobes in this fashion, this becomes superficial migration, but it results in inversion of configuration provided you are having this group instead of methyl. This happens to be a chiral carbon. Then if this is allowed, it would be proceeding with retention of configuration. If it happens with both the lobes, then it proceeds with inversion of configuration. So again here, this is carbon using one lobe. If this was a chiral carbon, then there is no change in the configuration. It would migrate with retention of configuration. If it was superficial, anterofficial is not possible because of this overlap being on the opposite faces. So if migrating center is chiral, then it proceeds with retention of configuration. However, if it makes use of both the lobes, then this is superficial, this is superficial. It could also be like this, then this becomes anterofficial migration. And if migrating center is chiral, then it proceeds with inversion of configuration. Let us see the 1,5 sigma tropic rearrangement of hydrogen and carbon. So you have this, X could be H or X could be an alkyl group. So again, imaginary, you're going to break this. So this becomes X plus and this becomes my pentadienyl anion. We have already seen the HOMOs and orbitals for the pentadienyl anion. So the HOMO is going to be the Psi3 pentadienyl anion. And in the case of hydrogen migration, the LUMO is going to be the 1s. Now you see in the HOMO, the like faces are coming out on the same side. So this is a superficial migration. It is allowed under thermal conditions. Anterofficial would be forbidden. But if you take a carbon group, let us assume that X is going to be an alkyl group. Then again, like we saw in the previous slides, the carbon could make use of its P lobe, or it could be lobe like this, or it could make use of both the P lobes. So if it happens like this, then you see that this superficial migration is allowed and it would proceed with retention of configuration if this carbon is chiral. If it makes use of both the lobes, then anterofficial migration will happen, proceeding with inversion of configuration at the chiral carbon. So both of them are allowed, but the stereochemical outcome is going to be different. Here it would be with retention of configuration. Here it would be with inversion of configuration, provided the group which is migrating is a chiral carbon. Woodward-Hoffmann came out with a set of rules for sigmatropic rearrangements based on the number of pairs of electrons which are participating, the reaction condition. So if I have an even number of pairs of electrons, then reaction conditions, it would be taking place antificially under thermal conditions and superficially under photochemical conditions. If you have an odd number of pairs of electrons, then thermally it is possible by superficial migration, and photochemically it will happen by antificial migration. Please remember that although antificial ring closure is symmetry allowed or antificial migration is symmetry allowed, it can occur only with large rings. So 1,3 hydrogen migration, there are 4 electrons, 2 pairs, so it's an even number of pairs of electrons. So under thermal conditions it will take place antificially, and under photochemical conditions it will take place superficially. However, if you have a 1,5 hydrogen migration or a carbon migration, there will be 6 electrons, so 3 electron pairs, so it would come under this category. So thermal would be allowed superficially, photochemically would be allowed antificially. So to summarize, sigmatropic rearrangements could involve migration of a sigma bond over a conjugated polyene system designated as Ij, where I and J correspond to the origin and terminus. If hydrogen is the migrating group, then I is always equal to 1. Woodward-Hoffmann came out with a set of rules, and depending on that, if there are an even pair of electrons, that is a 4n system, they are thermally allowed by an antificial process and superficially allowed by a photochemical process. However, if it has an odd pair of electrons, that means a 4n plus 2 system, then they are thermally allowed by a superficial process and antificially allowed by a photochemical process. Carbon can make use of either one lobe or both the lobes during migration, and depending on that, if the migrating group happens to be chiral, the reaction can proceed with retention or inversion of configuration. In the next module, we'll be discussing 3,3 sigmatropic shifts and the stereochemical outcome, and also see some more examples of sigmatropic rearrangements. Thank you.